The Zephyrian delegation burst into laughter as Commander Blake finished his presentation on Earth's biodiversity. Their crystalline forms shimmered with amusement, the sound resembling wind chimes in a hurricane. "These are your planet's apex predators?" Ambassador Crixtal wheezed between chuckles, gesturing at the holographic displays of lions, sharks, and eagles. "Primitive beasts that hunt with nothing but crude teeth and claws? Our domesticated grazers could eliminate your entire ecosystem." The other aliens nodded in agreement. The reptilian Vortak representative hissed something that translated as pathetic, while the insectoid hive queen clicked her mandibles dismissively. "Surely," Crixtal continued, "a species that evolved alongside such weak creatures cannot possibly contribute to the Galactic Defense Coalition. Perhaps you would be better suited to agricultural worlds, far from any real conflict." Commander Blake remained calm, though his jaw tightened almost imperceptibly. "I understand your concerns, Ambassador. However, I believe you may be underestimating both our wildlife and humanity itself." "Underestimating?" The Zephyrian's form pulsed with condescension. "Your largest land predator weighs barely 800 kilograms. Our war beasts tip the scales at 15 tons and can tear through starship hulls with their claws. Your sharks swim in water, how quaint. Our void hunters navigate the vacuum of space, feeding on asteroid metals." "Perhaps," Blake said quietly, "you'd like a demonstration?" 3 weeks later, the Zephyrian colony of Talveth fell silent. The distress beacon had been broadcasting for hours before the Coalition fleet arrived. What they found defied explanation. The planet's surface was scarred with massive craters, the once proud crystal cities reduced to glittering rubble. Zephyrian bioships floated dead in orbit, their hulls somehow breached from the inside. Admiral Korath of the Vortak Navy led the investigation. His serpentine form coiled in confusion as they examined the wreckage. "The colonists' own war beasts turned on them," he reported to the Coalition Council. "But that's impossible. They were genetically programmed for absolute loyalty." "Not impossible," Blake's voice cut through the chamber. The human delegation had arrived with data files and grim expressions. "Inevitable." "Explain," demanded the Hive Queen, her compound eyes fixed on the humans. Blake activated a holographic display showing Earth's evolutionary tree. "You mocked our apex predators for being primitive, but you failed to understand what made them apex predators in the first place. It wasn't size or raw strength. It was adaptability, intelligence, and something you clearly lack: patience." The hologram shifted, showing human history. Humans didn't just evolve alongside these weak creatures. We studied them. We learned from them. Every hunting technique, every survival strategy, every method of turning prey against itself, we cataloged it all. "The Talveth colony wasn't destroyed by some external force," Blake continued, his voice growing harder. "It was infiltrated. Small teams of human operatives, trained in techniques learned from Earth's most patient hunters. They introduced modified pathogens into your warbeast food supply, parasites inspired by Earth's cordyceps fungus, designed to alter behavior rather than kill." The alien delegates sat in stunned silence. "Your 15-ton warbeasts became our weapons," Blake explained, "turned against their masters by microscopic predators you never saw coming. That's what you get when you face a species that learned warfare from creatures who've been perfecting it for millions of years." Ambassador Crixtal's form had lost its shimmer entirely. "But your wildlife is so small." Blake smiled coldly. "Size doesn't make something an apex predator, Ambassador. Intelligence does. And humanity? We're the apex predators of apex predators." The council chambers remained silent for a long moment before the Hive Queen spoke, her voice barely audible. "Welcome to the Coalition Defense Force, humans. We apologize for our earlier assessment." Blake nodded grimly. "Just remember, when we go to war, we don't fight like civilized beings. We fight like the animals who taught us how to survive."